Hi everyone, I'm back on my vlogging, and today's video is really, all the truth behind being a YouTuber. And I think it's important for me to kind of be honest with you and tell you, how I feel, how difficult or easy it is to be a YouTuber, and just all the kind of little bits and bobs. And I feel that we can get to know each other better if you know more about me as a person. So of course, if you've got any extra questions, then you can leave them down below. But first thing I want to talk about is the kind of negative points of being a YouTuber. First one is the stability. I don't have any stability in my job. So one day, I release a video and it does really well. The next day it doesn't do really well. The monthly kind of jumps up and down. The same with my jobs. I don't really have anything stable, but I do a bunch of stuff that bring me some sort of income, of course, to live. But nothing is stable. So that's something that I do miss from having, when I had a proper job. You always know, okay, every month, no matter what you did, either you worked hard or you didn't, you're always gonna get paid. With YouTube and everything I do, which I love, there's no stability. So sometimes it brings me down and it's hard, so if any of you understand what I mean, I hope you can sympathize with me. Number two is obviously kind of goes together with the first one. So it's like finances. So you never know, one month you can do a couple of shows, or you can get invited for an interview and you get paid and you feel so excited and you're, feeling buzzed. And then the next month or two, nothing happens. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to do any videos. And then you kind of feel really down, and it kind of just goes up and down all the time. So financially and mentally, you're basically never stable, because you never know. But you have to obviously be positive and keep working hard and doing your best. Number three is a positive one. Of course, I love what I do and it makes me really happy. So every morning I wake up, I have a big smile on my face, and I know that I don't need to go and do something that I hate. There are days when I feel lazy and I'm like, oh god, I have to edit the video and I don't want to because I'm not in the mood right now, but I still do it, and it's kind of like part of the job. But I still enjoy the process of it because nobody's kind of sitting or standing behind my back and going like, right, you need to do this right now. And that's partly why I didn't enjoy my previous jobs when I used to work in the office. I just had constant pressure from people shouting at me and telling me what to do, what time I should eat lunch, what time I should go home. So I really, really love what I do now, and I love cooking. I love, sharing food with everyone, and then obviously posting it online and all the social media. So that's, I guess, a good plus. Number four is misconceptions. So I did a vlog about that, so you can watch that, but it's basically misconceptions about, what you do, how much you earn, what a great life you have being as a YouTuber. And there's a lot of misconceptions, so I just wanted to cover that, because it's one point that people just meet you and they assume everything about you without knowing you, and that's kind of hard, because if you don't know me, you can't really judge what I do, how much I work, but they do make misconceptions and different sort of ideas about you, and sometimes it's not very nice, and you have to deal with it and you have to re-educate people. Number five is negative comments and trolls. I'm actually quite lucky with that. I don't get too many negative comments and I don't get a lot of trolls. To be honest, on YouTube, is really, really rare. I've never really gotten any bad comments about my food or the recipes that I've done. Just sometimes maybe a couple of suggestions, but I think everyone in the food community is always lovely, and so I don't have to deal with too much negativity. On Facebook, however, it's slightly different. There's more negativity. As you know, you probably, even when you scroll down through your news feed, you can see any single post that's getting more than a couple of million views will be having negative comments and negative reactions from people. And that's okay, everybody can have an opinion, and I'm kind of used to that, and I respect everything. unless people become like really rude and personal. Again, I haven't really experienced too much of that, but there have been comments, you know, why am I not wearing gloves in the kitchen while I'm cooking in my own house, and silly things like that. So best theory for me is to just ignore these kind of people, because they are looking for attention, and if you don't give it to them, they're just gonna move on because they're not getting a reaction out of you. And you can't, you know, I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple of times I really wanted to reply, and if I did, it just kind of got worse, and then in the end it just makes you really upset, you know. Like I mentioned in my previous vlog, you know, people do get to you, especially in the beginning when I started this channel. I would get so upset if somebody said anything negative about what I've done, and I would be upset for a week. Now I have grown much thicker skin, so I don't get upset over silly comments. But I do think there should be more positivity rather than negativity on the internet, and we should embrace the positive comments and kind of, you know, everyone should be happy, everyone should support each other and just be positive. Number 6 is probably, you know, how much time it takes to, you know, post every video. I have done vlog on that as well, and I think it's one part that's really important about being a YouTuber. It takes so much time, and I've realized that, you know, once a person, it can be anyone, you know, once they go home and, you know, try and make a recipe, record it and film it and then edit it, they realize how much time it takes to provide a single recipe. And then they kind of appreciate you more. They're like, wow, I never realized how much time it takes for you to do this. And then they have more respect for you. But in general, I feel like we should have respect for all YouTubers, because they all put so much effort, so much work into every single video, you know, from choosing the music, to choosing the right picture, to writing the good description, to titles, to the recipe, finally to the, you know, actual video, and so on. The list just goes on. And I mentioned before, but it takes roughly from 3 to 6 to sometimes 7 hours per video, which is only 2-3 minutes long. So you can imagine how much work goes into it. So we do really appreciate when people, you know, kind of notice it and they're like, well done, we appreciate your work, thanks for sharing it with us. I think number 7, I left it to last because it's not something I like to talk about, and I guess it's a bit embarrassing, and it's more like, you know, it's a topic that doesn't get talked a lot about. It's mainly like a slight depression, and I think a lot of YouTubers experience it. You know, I've felt low and down so many times, and so many, you know, occasions I wanted to like say, okay, I can't do this anymore, you know, this is really hard, this is, you know, exhausting. And you do go from low to high, it's like a roller coaster. And I think, you know, a lot of people don't talk about it because, you know, it's personal, you don't want to share it. But I kind of think it's a good point to bring out and kind of mention it, so people know that it's hard, it's hard work, it's every day. You have to be motivated every day, you have to come up with ideas or new recipes, or whatever channel you're doing, you constantly have to be creative, and you have to engage the audience, and you have to make sure people come back and enjoy your show, you know. Nobody wants to be doing something for nobody, so you're always doing stuff for other people. And I think, you know, I'm a very strong person, and I have been through a lot in my life, and I think sometimes there are moments when I do feel down and I'm like, okay, I just need to keep going, and I get out of them, and then I'm back to me, and I'm happy and positive and coming up with thousands of ideas. But yeah, I think these are my sort of reasons and tips, and I guess just general discussion. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope it was useful, and whoever's starting a channel, you know, maybe it's a good idea to take these into account and just make sure that you're prepared with everything that's coming along. Until the next time!